Hey everybody, Pickle Gamer here. Interesting PlayStation news last few days. And like I said, I like to sit here and read things and let it develop before I jump on it. A lot of people jump on it, and I used to do that a lot. But we saw a few days ago that the PS4 is heading into the end of its life cycle, PlayStation CEO says. Sony prioritized the PSN and PlayStation Plus. And everybody started talking about, about the PlayStation 5. When is it coming out? Dreamcast guy has some information, some leaks. Some believe him, some don't. I'm just on the fence. I hope it's, I hope some of the information may not be correct. But then waiting, it was only, a few days after that, or actually, let's see, about the same time here. Let's see, this was May 23rd. This came up May 20. Yeah, okay, here we go. It's about the same day. I'm looking at multiple articles here. The next PlayStation is at least 3 years away. PlayStation CEO John Codera, I think I said that right, we will use the next 3 years to prepare the next step, to crouch down so that we can jump higher in the future. We need to depart from the traditional way of looking at the console lifecycle. We're no longer in a time when you can just think about the console or just the network. They're two different things. So looking at all this information together, a lot of people are saying, well, the PlayStation 4 is coming to an end. Well, it is coming to an end. They say at least 3 years out. I don't always believe them. I mean, I just watched, try to catch up with stuff on YouTube from RGT85 about, what's Sony going to do this year. They got Days Gone, Last of Us 2, Death Stranding, and Spider-Man. But they're not got a lot of big name games coming out after all these. I mean, some of these drop. Spider-Man's out this year. Death Stranding is sometime. Final Fantasy VII Remake, which that's, they rebooted it, so to speak. They started redoing the development. It could be out to 2020. Sony is doing great. They're approaching 100 million. But it's been out since 2013. Just like the Xbox One at the end of this year, we're looking at 5 years. And I think that the PlayStation 5, if something came out, would be closer to 2020. Now, they say that at least 3 years. Maybe, that would be 2021. Well, if you release it in 2020, like E3, I really liked how the 7th gen did, or 8th gen did launch. It's like, here it is. You don't have to wait a year. End of the month, it's just this, oh my god, Xbox One and PS4. I think they may do that again. Just be ready to show off, to have the E3 of the Xbox whatever 2 or Xbox Next, whatever you want to call it, and the PlayStation 5, and then it's the same year and it's the mad rush again. But we're at 5 years this year. If they wait and they say about 3 years to really launch it and get moving, I could see it coming out in 2020. And of course, it'll depend on what Microsoft's doing. These two companies are competing really heavily. The Xbox One X did okay. I know somebody said, "Oh, it did great." Well, I mean, it's an upgraded console, and the PlayStation 4 Pro is selling pretty good. But both companies were testing the water. So with Sony really putting this out there that the Sony PlayStation 4 could be coming to an end, if you get there, even say 2020. That's 7 years. And really, you may not count, like I said, releasing in November or something like the 8th gen was. You don't really start till the next year as much, right? Well, that's still going into 7 point something years. That's normal. The 7th generation, we had a lot of things like the recession and all those other things that pushed it way out. And people thinking, well, it needs to last that long. No, they don't. We're at 5 years this year. That's a pretty good, especially with Sony selling so many consoles. That's been a lot of gaming. And looks like they're going to at least push out to maybe 7 point something, maybe 8 years. That's plenty. A lot of people are upset about this. Why? Maybe people upset that the PlayStation 4 Pro was not what they wanted. And some people probably didn't care about the Xbox One X. There's nothing wrong with them. That's what you want to play. I didn't really care for these mid-cycle upgrades either myself, but maybe that's going to be a thing in the past because they didn't just take off, I don't think, what either company wanted. Even though Microsoft said, This was a Xbox One X was a premium device that only certain people get. They really wanted to push this as the next one, and I think both companies stand back and went, it didn't go the way we wanted it, and now they're just trying to focus on games, which Microsoft, you need to do a little better about that. Hopefully, E3 is going to show a lot of exclusives and neat stuff coming from Xbox brand. But going back to this, is that Sony PlayStation 4 should be coming to an end here in a couple of years. What else is coming out? Like when RGT85 was saying on his video, he's like, well, it's kind of winding down. Of course, it's probably winding down. I mean, they're probably back there working toward the next PlayStation. And when it does come out, Microsoft will be responding as well. These mid-cycle upgrades will be something, if you want to go back, you'll buy the biggest, baddest one of them. But moving forward, also, we have backwards compatibility. They're staying on AMD x86. So whatever Sony comes out with, being that they have won this generation, I know Nintendo's kind of not, they're kind of like in between generations. They're like different, and they're going to do great. People will buy this system. Even I probably will buy this system, even though I'm not a huge console gamer, and I'll pay it PlayStation 4 stuff and just move over and move forward. But I think this is this is the way it needs to go. And Sony's probably moving forward what they need to do to go forward and do a real upgrade. But also they're going to look at the services and pull it in. But it's still about a new service or new hardware, which will go along with however they integrate the service. So a lot of people freaked out about this announcement. I don't think there's anything to freak out about. I think it's organic. It's the way things happen, and it's just going to happen like that. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I appreciate everybody watching. Everything should have popped up on the screen down here. Subscribe and share and everything. Go to twitch.tv/PKO Gamer. I'm also there. I publish everything over there on Twitch as well. All right, everybody. PKO Gamer out.